Let's go to Michael in Kansas City, Missouri. Michael, what's going on?
Hey, not much. Thanks for having me on. We're kind of opposite of one of your previous callers. I had student loan debt. My wife was able to graduate debt free. We were able to pay for our master's degrees cash. But now, I guess my question is, through the stimulus money.
Hey, hold on. Hey, Michael, talk directly into your phone, man.
Okay.
There you go, brother. Now we can hear you. Perfect.
Okay. I'm kind of opposite of the previous caller. I had student loan debt for my undergrad. My wife graduated debt-free. We paid for our master's degrees with cash. But my question is, I've got about $9,000 left. And through the stimulus money coming in and having a child in 2020 with the child tax credit on our new tax return, do I wait and see what the president does, or do I go ahead and pay it off?
Pay it off.
Pay it off?
Today.
Pay it off.
Today.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we wait around to see what bill is going to pass through what House and Congress and blah, 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 we will be waiting a long time. And so to be able to control what you can control, it's kind of like the theme, I feel like, of the show today. And it's this: don't put your future and your destiny in Washington, D.C.'s hands. So I would 1,000% be paying it off.
Michael, for me, it's a two-part thing. Number one, I got to see what Rachel's talking about ringside. I worked with some extraordinary, I'm talking about brilliant, high-character, wonderful young men and women who were in law school who intentionally chose to go do public service work instead of going to big fancy firms where they were going to have big fancy salaries. They chose to go do this work because they wanted to serve their communities, and because if they did that work, which is hard, grueling work for a decade, the government said, we're going to come in and wipe those loans away. And then when they got to year 8 and 9, that went away.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had sacrificed not only their direction in law school, which, if you know anything about law school, is just such a trajectory, right? It's hard to circle back and do something different X number of years down the road. But man, they had sacrificed 5 to 7 years of major earning potential because they were given this promise, right? And so there's that. I think Rachel's super wise. Here's the other thing. There is something I don't share this with everybody, so I'm just going to tell you what's in my heart. When I took out student loans, and I had 6 figures, man. My wife and I had 6 degrees between us. And then I went and got another one that the school paid for. But I had 6 degrees between us. We had 6 figures in student loans. It was hard. I didn't realize on some of these loans I took out what I was signing, all of that stuff. I was not an educated consumer when it came to that. But at the end of the day, I signed my name to a piece of paper that said, if you will help me get through college for this money, I will pay you back. And it became an ethical issue for me that I was working good jobs. I had money. Now, this isn't everybody. I was in a fortunate position, but I had jobs where I had this money here, and if I waited on somebody to come in and pay for it, which is my tax dollars anyway, all of our tax dollars, I struggled with that personally. So you're in a situation where you're holding money in your hand right now. I think in my estimation, if you've got that money, the right thing to do is to go ahead and pay that off. Now, not everybody shares that ethical deal. That's just me, but that's just me talking to you, Michael, person to person here. But the broader conversation, as Rachel's talking about, is, yeah, man, you don't ever want to wait on those things to make their ways through Washington.
Yeah. Yeah, and depending on, getting into we don't have to go down this rabbit hole, but the student loan program has really screwed up a lot of people's lives. Yeah. Now, did they make the intentional decision to go get into those loans? Absolutely. But the whole program is so frustrating to me on that level that I'm like, I wish it just didn't even exist, right? That we went the old school way of what it looks like to go to school debt free. So when I hear the word relief, there is a part of me that I'm like, yeah, I do. I want relief for people.
Yeah,
I want
they
that.
had no idea what they were signing up for.
Sort of, yeah. Like you kind of like they just got screwed in it, even though I know they signed their name to it. But man, so there is something that I'm like, I don't know how it would be done or what would be done or what that looks like, because it probably, we're not going to get into the politics of it, but I would love a level of relief for people at some level, whatever that looks like. But I'm not going to wait on Washington just to deliver it. So let's get to work. Because to your point too,
if you got it, you got it.
If you have it, yes.
You got it. Another thing is, I've heard some of these variants of the relief bill have different things attached to them. You're going to owe us this much community service. You're going to owe us this
Yeah.
much stuff, which I love. I love
Yeah.
some skin in the game on that, right? I think that's good. But at the same time, Michael, it goes back to an earlier caller we had, or somebody here in the lobby. When you take something from somebody and they attach strings to that gift, you're beholden to them,
Yeah,
right?
that's
and so, man, good for you. I appreciate that question. It's a good question. I know that I can't tell you how many times we get that call.
Yeah.
People are all over the country are wrestling with, do I wait? What do I do? Do I just stop paying on that because there's no interest now? And some of it might go away later. I just want to say keep going if you can, and I hope we can get this thing untangled. It's just a mess 7 ways
sure.
to Sunday, right?